Hello and welcome back. Hope you're good, doing well. So we are having a weekly market outlook from today to Friday. But before going to look at that, if anyone want to join us looking for trading or training or trade setups, just simply head to the wave-trader.com and check the membership levels. Okay, so let's look at the calendar first. So we are having some important events for coming for within the next 2 weeks. So last night we were having cash rate decision on Australian dollars, RB rate statement. So we were expecting no change and Australian dollar to drop. So we had exactly what we were expecting. We had drop and we have seen drop on the Australian dollar. So we haven't seen, highly likely we're going to see further interest rate hikes from Reserve Bank of Australia. So because inflation is dropping globally. So at 3 p.m. today, so we're going to have ISM services PMI data is going to be released, and the most important data are going to be the JOLTS job opening. So JOLTS job opening data is very important. That is which Fed is looking at the moment. All right. So job opening is slowing down, but not slowing down very aggressively. There we can see that. Okay. So in 2019 and 2020, so the average was at 7. So it was below 7. So job openings were below 7 million. So we are still, job opening still very high. All right. So actually, Fed wants labor market to slow down, and eventually, which is going to bring down the inflation. So very important data, which can moves the market, and GDP data, and rate decision from the Bank of Canada tomorrow, Wednesday. No change. Okay, so they're not going to raise the interest rate. They're going to say that they're going to hold the interest rate higher for longer. Okay, but as we know that inflation is falling, so no further interest rate hikes are expected from the central banks. So they have done raising the interest rates because the real interest rate is very much high at the moment. So it's not making sense for the central banks to raise interest rate further higher. Okay, so inflation drop also gonna push the real interest rate higher. So it's not making any sense at the moment to raise the interest rate further beyond these numbers, beyond 5% or 550 from the Fed. Market is pricing in for rate cuts, by the way, in the first quarter in next year, in March in Europe, and in June in the US. So hikes done already. So unemployment claim on Thursday, and Friday we're going to have non-farm payroll data is going to be released. Okay, again, important data, so we can see that numbers are dropping. All right, so numbers are dropping. So this is the data which is Fed is watching right now. So labor market slow down. So it's slowing down. We can see that the trend is falling. So similarly, job opening and non-farm payroll data both are important numbers to watch. All right, and obviously the CPI numbers from the China is also going to be important data. Okay, Chinese are struggling badly with the disinflation, so they are not having inflation at all. There we can see that they are struggling very much similar like in 2021 it was artificial. All right, that was artificial. I mean, the world closed down because of the COVID. All right, and businesses were closed, so you can expect that to have that disinflation, but this is not the artificial. All right, this is not the artificial. So they are struggling to accelerate the economy. So the Chinese stuck in the disinflation. So this is what we are expecting the rest of the the world to do, specifically the Western countries, to have similar kind of situation. So in coming months. All right, and okay, so yeah, this is also going to be important. So we are not expecting anything, just Chinese to stay within that disinflation territory until the West is having inflation, because demand is mostly driven from the Western countries into the China. So that demand is slowing down, which is causing the Chinese to face disinflation. All right, so yes, again on 12th of December next week, we're gonna have core CPI, CPI, and CPI yearly based. Okay, again, this is the important data we can see over there. This is gonna, set the tone of what who's gonna cut first. All right. So the projection, this is gonna be the important data, by the way, important than any other, even important than the Fed rate decision within the next 2 weeks. All right. So the projection is 2.3%. They're expecting the inflation numbers to fall up to, inflation is sitting at the 3.2%. Remember, the inflation in the EU is dropped to 2.4%. All right, just 4 needs to be removed over there from 2, and they're going to be the EU inflation going to be in the 2% range. All right, so European inflation is falling below 2% soon, and if we're gonna see, a similar kind of drop, the drop which we have seen in the EU inflation in the US, then obviously they're gonna be a talk that who's going to cut first. Right now, market is expecting interest rate cut in the EU in March, all right, and in the US in June. So almost a 3-month difference. So if US inflation fall faster than the EU and come closer to 2%, then then they're going to be pressure on both central banks to start cutting rates. So the question is who cut first. So right now, market is putting pressure on the ECB rather than the Fed, because inflation in the US is still high, above 3%. But headline, this is headline inflation, all right? So the headline inflation is not, which is the central banks are watching at the moment. So it's the core inflation, okay? We're going to look at that. Let's just quickly look at that. So the core inflation is the key. Okay, so let me find a chart for you, and then we're going to talk about that. Let me find. Okay, so here we can see this is the red is the EU inflation, Euro area inflation rate on a yearly basis. Okay, so it is at 2.4%. So it dropped to 2.4%. And there we can see that this is the core inflation, European EU core inflation, stuck at 3.6%. All right, so the headline inflation is at 2.4%. Core is at 3.6%, and the interest rate is sitting at 450. yeah, we can see that the real interest rate is significantly higher. So inflation has significantly fallen below the interest rate. So right now, ECB no gonna, they obviously they're gonna pay attention and the headline inflation, but headline inflation is important but less important as with compared to the core inflation. So core inflation, which is stuck into the system, right? And it is hard to remove the core inflation as with compared to the headline inflation. So they're gonna focus on the core inflation, all right? So by bringing down the core inflation, they're gonna kill the headline inflation. So headline inflation significantly can fall below the 2%, even below 1%, by bringing down the core inflation. So core inflation is the key. So we can see there that the core inflation is falling, but it's falling, very slowly, and headline inflation is just close to the 2%. So similar story we are having in the US. So the US is also having the same story. All right. So the inflation is going to be the really important data in the US. All right. So it's going to be, so who's going to cut first? That's going to be the question. Who's going to cut the interest rate first? So market is already pricing in for interest rate cuts. All right, and on 13th of December, we're going to have the rate decision. So obviously no interest rate hike from the Fed. Okay, Fed is not going to raise interest rate anymore. So we're done. All right, so we're done raising the interest rate. So it's peaked over there at 550. All right, now the question is when they're going to start to cut. So obviously they're not going to start to cut interest rates so quickly. All right, market is pricing in. They will try whatever they can do to defy the market expectations, and will try to bring down the core inflation by saying that they're not gonna cut the interest rate, gonna hold the interest rate higher for longer, and yeah. So the upper band is just done. All right, market is already pricing in for interest rate cut, 25 basis, cut from the ECB in March, and 25 basis in the June from Fed. All right, so yeah. So market right now, what's happening? All right, so right now dollar is pricing in for this event. All right, so right now we are having strength on the dollar. Dollar is trying to gain ahead of that event. So on Wednesday, on 13th of December, so market is just simply setting up for that event. All right, and the market is expecting that Fed gonna have a hawkish, meeting, and people are trying to buy the dollar ahead of that event. All right, so we are having strength on the dollar ahead of that. And that's what we were talking about last week. All right, so short-term staying trending, all right, with the previous trend which we had in the previous week. All right, so having strength on the dollar. Dollar is trying to gain ahead of that event. So right, so last week we were having price was running within that. We got the weaknesses on the dollar, and price was running within this ascending channel everywhere on the dollar pairs. Okay, and we were expecting short-term buying opportunities, even on lower time frame, and selling from the top. All right. So at some places we have seen that the price has broken out that channel into the opposite direction. All right, so broken down, and the market is simply setting up for another leg lower like that. I mean, dollar is just simply setting up for that. So it's important data. All right, so 14 December is also going to be important. So Swiss National Bank. So inflation has significantly fallen in the Switzerland. All right, so fallen to 1.4%. Very important, data. So again, we're not gonna see any hike from the SNB. All right, so also they're gonna start talking about the cuts rather than hiking. Yeah, so no hike again from the Bank of England. So all these banks just done. All right, so no hike from the ECB. So dovish, yeah. They're done raising the interest rate. Now the question, what they're gonna do, what these central banks gonna do, they're gonna talk hawkish, all right? So they're gonna talk hawkish. They have done whatever they can do, right? But what they're gonna say, not gonna cut. They're not gonna cut, all right? These kind of words they're gonna keep repeating. They are not going to cut. They will hold interest rate higher, and will try to push the yields higher by saying rather than doing, with their actions. So that's what we can expect from them, all right? And yeah, so after 15 20, yeah, so market gonna start, market will go into holidays. So that's the 15-16 days left for trading for this year, all right? So now last week we were talking about some charts. Yes, the most important chart we were talking about was the Luna Classic, all right? And if you guys have seen those charts and Luna Classic, okay, so let's get back to these charts, all right? So we were talking about these charts. So we had some decent strength, okay? If you remember that, we got a lead on the Terra Classic. Terra Classic just went higher very, very aggressively, and Luna Classic was just lagging, all right? And we were expecting Luna Classic to just follow up the Terra Classic, and we have seen some significant strength over there on Terra Classic last week, and it jumped very, very aggressively. Even it has gone beyond that 18, it went up to 20. Yeah, so went up to 20. So very strong aggressive move we have seen over there on Terra Classic, and we have seen that strength also on Luna. All right, so Luna also made that move, and that was the it has even gone beyond our expectations. We were expecting it to go up to 20, all right? And 20, give us the move up to 20, yeah, but it has gone up to 27. So it has done its bullish run, all right? And we may see, again, sideways market over there. So we are not expecting this to continue for more upside, all right? And more likely price going to start falling again, and we'll go into a accumulation phase. Okay, this chart we have seen last week, it took a lot of time, all right, but finally it made its move. Almost a year, right? It took almost a year, and then finally it's made its move, and that was a decent move we have just seen on that. All right, so I have posted some chart here on Telegram, guys, so we need to look at them, all right? So some of them are for longer term, all right, and some of them for a short term, all right, specifically the Bitcoin. Yeah, so Luna is just simply done. Luna Classic is just done. Luna Classic is done, and Luna both have done their move. Okay, Luna Classic is done, and the Luna chart, let me find the Luna. So this is the Luna, all right? So we were expecting Luna to run very much similar like Luna Classic, at least up to that 120, all right? So for short-term target, it's done, all right? So we may not see further upside on Luna, but there is a perfect possibility that this chart still can run for more upside, all right? It can go up to $8, $6, $7 or $8 move can happen over there on Luna, all right? So 27, we're expecting target 27. Yeah, so right now it is tagged already, that 27 we can see over there. Yeah, so the short-term target, it has tagged. But if you are a longer term trader and holding that still holding that coin, all right, so we can see that coin to just simply push up to these areas, these prices, at least up to 350, or in best case scenario up to $8, all right? So if I'm gonna pull out my Luna, All right, so Terra classic chart on that. Yeah, there we can see that. So the Terra classic has gone up to, all right, this area, that place. So Terra classic has visited that high, right, this high. So at least up to this area on Luna, right? So Luna, if you're holding, then it to go at least up to this place, which is at least 250, right, or $3. Yeah, so it can spike as well. So yeah, that's the update for this chart. All right, so we had that, we were expecting it to rise to, so it's making its move now, so we can expect it to push more higher. Okay, hope that makes sense now. So gold, all right, so gold and Bitcoin. So we're going to look at the Bitcoins. Gold is also done its bullish run, all right. So this was the chart, all right, so a bit older, yeah, I think on 10th of November, somewhere there, yeah, so 9th of November, so we can see there. So when gold was falling and was setting up, so last week we were a bit, cautious on that, right? And but when dollar went lower, then gold started to jump aggressively for upside, and we have seen a decent run on gold. Okay, and it has just simply made its move. Yeah, so the next run is just completed over there, and we clearly can see that the gold is a manipulated assets, and it is being manipulated over there and sold by big players, and we may not see further upside on gold from these areas. Okay, so we may see a drop on gold for the downside. Okay, so the reason is very much simple why we may not see gold further upside. So this is the gold chart. Okay, if I'm gonna look at this gold chart, and just simply gonna pull out the inflation chart on it, and we'll look at this, let's say this 1980. All right, so in 1980, what has happened over there? So inflation came, we have seen inflation came very, very aggressively, and people started to buy gold. Gold went up, then inflation went lower, gold started to fall. So we have seen, since then gold went up. When people started, when simply, central banks started to print more money, gold went up. All right, so printing more money means that inflation is coming. Okay, when inflation is coming, gold is a buy. All right, so there we can see that. So gold went up, inflation came, then again inflation started to fall, gold went lower, and yeah, so gold is just simply moving with inflation. So we can see there. So in 2008 we have seen crisis. All right, so there in 2008, all right, and inflation went up, gold went up. Right, then inflation dragged, we have seen drop, and then again, inflation came back, we have seen a next run on gold. All right, and then inflation went sideways for longer term, and we have seen a big sideways market on gold. All right, there, so we have seen big sideways market on gold. From there to there at this area. So we have seen big sideways market on gold. Inflation started to fall, gold started to fall, and then when inflation came, gold was a buy. So let me find a chart over there. I do have a chart. Let's see if, yeah, there is the chart. So when we were expecting, maybe on a weekly chart, yes, there. So when before inflation comes, gold was a buy at those areas, and then inflation started to come over there. Yeah, so since 2018, gold is rising. All right, and inflation came after that. So there we can see that the gold went higher, and then we know that central Fed printed a lot of money over there. Okay, so if I'm gonna US money supply, US money supply chart. Okay, so there we can see that the money, Fed started to print a lot of money over there. All right, the trend was just going higher, and gold went higher. So this was a sign that the inflation is going to come. All right, so this was a sign that the inflation was going to come, and which caused that gold to go higher. So after looking that past data, now hopefully you understand that what we can expect from gold now. All right, so money supply is shrinking. Okay, money supply is shrinking, and inflation is going down. Okay, so we shouldn't expect gold to stay trending. All right, so we should expect gold to stay sideways for longer term and go down for another leg lower. Yeah, so just stay sideways. So how gold can go higher, or how gold can break out for the next leg higher? Yes, if we see that the inflation is going to come back again, Fed fails to kill the inflation below 2%. If they fail to kill the inflation below 2%, then we can expect gold to break out and continue to keep pushing more higher. Yeah, so this is very less likely. We are not going to see inflation for next run in the inflation. Inflation is just going down, so you should expect gold to stay sideways. Simple as that. All right, so that's why big players, they know that what's happening over there in the gold market. So why we have simply seen that next bullish run on gold? What caused that this bullish? Remember that we were expecting it to go higher within these areas. Yeah, so I do have those charts back in my Telegram history when gold was there, and we were expecting gold to start pushing higher from these areas, and it never looked back within these areas. So this run on gold is simply caused by the optimism. The optimism is that we are going to have a soft landing, right? We are not going to have a hard landing. All right, so Fed will bring down the inflation below 2% without causing significant harm to the economy, and dollar went lower and caused that optimism to push more higher, gold to go higher. Equities also went higher. So optimism is causing that weakness on the dollar and strength on the equities, and gold also went higher. So yeah, that's what we are not anticipating. We are not anticipating the soft landing at all. All right, so we are going to see hard landing, and that hard landing can be worse than the 2008. All right, so time will tell. So that's gold. All right, and another assets we need to look at that is going to be the Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, I have posted that. So this is what we need to keep in mind on Bitcoin chart. All right, so I have posted some charts on Telegram, so we can see there. This is what we were expecting on Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is just simply doing that right now. So copper gave us lead that inflationary move. The second phase of inflation may happen, but that didn't happen. Could happen, all right. So the second phase of inflation could happen, but that didn't happen. Yeah. So we are having that inflationary move on the Bitcoin. So this move is almost done. So we are having 42 mark at the moment. So Bitcoin is doing 42 mark at the moment, hitting 42 mark on this chart. We can see that. All right, so that's a bit old. All right, so to 1 day old. All right, after I posted that, so we have seen slight breakout on Bitcoin and went up to 42. So we have completed that move. All right, so we have almost completed that move on Bitcoin, and we may see drop on Bitcoin very much similar like that. All right, like we are having on copper. So copper is just suggesting that we are going into a big sideways market on crypto. So these two charts. Okay, so the next chart which you need to keep in mind, that this is, if you're gonna have that breakout, okay, this is very much similar structure we are having on these two charts. All right, but before we're going to look at these two charts, let's just look at another chart, and then we're going to come back so that we can understand that what has happened over there. All right, so I think I haven't posted that chart here. All right, but we're gonna have that chart from my trading view profile. So trading view profile is there. So this, okay, so this is telling us that this is the copper. Okay, copper is a very good chart to understand that where the inflation is going. All right, so this chart is telling us that, posted back in all right, so a year ago, we can say that 7th of November 2022. All right, and copper went lower very aggressively. We can clearly see over there. Okay, and that was an indication that inflation is going to fall. All right, so this is the update. So we were expecting inflation to go down too. All right, and this is the updated chart just recently. So inflation is just simply going after the copper, right? So inflation, copper went lower, right? So inflation went lower. We can see that, okay, copper went higher, inflation started to rise. Copper went down, inflation started to fall. All right, and there central banks were worried that we may see second phase of inflation. All right, this second phase. So we haven't seen that next run there. Okay, and specifically in the EU, inflation has fallen below that, and highly likely we're going to see a drop in the US inflation as well in next 2 weeks. Okay, below 3%. All right. Okay, so big sideways market is there on the copper, and we are now going to see next run on the copper. All right, as inflation is just going down below. I mean, inflation is under control, we can say that. So understand that chart. All right, and if I'm going to pull out that chart on if I'm going to bring BTC on the clean chart, okay, so if I'm going to bring out that chart on Bitcoin, okay, so why we are not anticipating this to go higher, why we are anticipating Bitcoin to just break down one more leg lower and then go down. So if I'm gonna remove that and I'm gonna pull out inflation chart on it, okay, so there we can see that. So if we so if we're gonna look at this, when early we had early run on the Bitcoin, okay, inflation went lower, so Bitcoin went lower too. So the next phase came over there, the next inflationary phase, not so huge, all right, but inflation was just staying within the 2% average numbers. So inflation pushed higher, bang, Bitcoin started to rise. Okay, so similarly here in this phase, so we have seen again sideways inflation, all right, and Bitcoin also started to fall. So Bitcoin went lower first. So similarly, inflation came, Bitcoin started to push higher, inflation came after that. It's actually the money printed by the central banks pushing these assets higher, and inflation goes, if we're gonna pull out the US money supply chart on it, okay, it tells us that US printed dollar, Fed, printed dollar first, which caused the Bitcoin to go higher, all right, and then inflation came. You see there, all right, so you see there clearly. If I'm gonna exactly pull out the dates, yeah, so money print, as US money supply started to rise from Monday 24th of February 2020, and then Bitcoin found its floor over there, okay, and started to rise and jumped aggressively on 14th of December 20, okay, and then we can see that the inflation started to pick up very aggressively on March 29, 2021, okay. So what's happening right now, that's going to tell us what is the next move of the Bitcoin, okay. So Bitcoin went lower very aggressively, risky assets, yeah. So investors started to sell Bitcoin first rather than the other risky assets. So which was a clear, you know, sign that the inflation was going down, okay, and we were expecting Bitcoin to go down too at that time, and there we can see that similar, you know, behavior has happened over there back in 2018. So Bitcoin went first, then inflation started to fall. So we are comparing inflation with the Bitcoin, all right, and when it peaked over there, Bitcoin peaked over there, started to went lower very, very aggressively. Inflation peaked over there too, okay, and money supply was started to shrink. So what Fed is doing right now, okay, they have already taken out 1 trillion away from the market, all right. So $1 trillion has been removed from they printed more than 6 trillion, all right, and they have taken away 1 trillion at least, which caused that these, you know, I mean, money supply to shrink, to slow down. So what we can expect, all right. So we were expecting second, you know, this bullish weekly wave to come, all right, and the weekly wave came over there. Now we're expecting inflation to just continue, keep falling, all right, keep falling below 2%, all right, okay, and Bitcoin to stay sideways, okay, so a big sideways market within these areas. So not to continue to keep pushing more higher, all right, all the way back to that high. So there we are paying attention, okay, there where we are paying attention on a lower time frame. Now let's get back to those charts which I have just, you know, started to look at the start, all right. So let me close these charts first. Okay, so all right, so got that. So copper is a very nice asset which tells us that what is going to happen with the inflation, all right. That's why this correlation works really well, okay. That's why these two charts works really well. So copper went higher, was suggesting us that Bitcoin is also going to push up for another leg higher on this weekly time frame chart, all right. So that's why that works really well. So yeah, this chart. So the chart which I was talking about was this, okay. Nicely we have seen almost similar structure, similar pattern formation. Everything was just neck and neck on these two charts, all right. So we can see there, so we have seen a ABC move over there on the Bitcoin. So copper has already done that and then broke out, all right. So another ABC move, we can say that's expanding triangle, then again this flat formation, okay, this flat formation, this is where we were buying the Bitcoin, yeah. So we already knew that Bitcoin was just going to go higher from this leg is going to appear over there, okay, this leg on Bitcoin. So the next chart was this, okay. This is what I'm talking about, okay, this flat formation. So we had that flat formation, next leg, okay, so this side flat formation, next leg we were expecting, this is the chart where we were expecting, yeah, this flat formation. Even I was having, you know, video analysis as well, so when Bitcoin was setting up over there. So we had that next leg already there, all right, this next leg already appeared over there, okay. So now you understand, okay. So this chart, all right, this flat formation played, okay. Now you understand, I mean, this is the old chart, okay. Flat formation came over there, price came, tested, next leg, bang, next leg is just appear over there, all right. Now you understand the importance of this chart, okay. So exactly similar formation, exactly very much similar formation, okay, exactly similar flat formation there, all right. Now we are having that wedge is just simply appearing over there on the Bitcoin as well, okay. So we are expecting a sharp break. We have already compared that chart to oil, if you remember that, my previous weekly market outlook, all right, and oil did exactly, you know, really well, okay. We were expecting oil to give us that move. We haven't got that move on oil just simply went lower, very much similar like wheat, okay, if you remember that. So how we gonna confirm that the top is in place on Bitcoin once we're gonna see that sharp sell-off is going to appear over there? Okay, once you see that the sharp sell-off is just coming out over there, okay, very much similar like that, then done. Okay, so Bitcoin is done for the weekly top over there at 42 mark. Okay, and we are going to fall for a big sideways market. That's my point, all right? And that's what you need to understand that. Okay, so if we see that price action, we are done. We are already seeing that price action on oil. Okay, now let's get back to the oil chart to understand that what I'm talking. All right, so very much this leg, all right, is not going to change. This one more leg is not going to change our view for downside. So we had, let me bring out the old structure back on the Bitcoin chart, and then yes, this. Okay, now this is the strong. You see that this ABC move, next leg higher. Okay, and we are having that ascending wedge over there. So slightly gone above that is not making any change into our view. Okay, in case if we see that a clear leg is just going to appear over there and going to violate this wedge, okay, like, then we can say that it's changing. All right, if we are going to see, then we're going to say that our analysis were wrong, something like that. Okay, or let's just remove that. All right, let's just simply pull out this aggressive run. Okay, if something like that is going to happen, then we can say that it's changing. Okay, this kind of next aggressive run is going to happen, then we can say that. So we are not anticipating that, so we're going to ignore that. Okay, so we're going to go to the oil chart to understand that what is happening right now. So these assets are correlated to each other. Okay, so there we were anticipating. So the sell opportunity we were anticipating on oil. Let's go back to that chart first to understand that why oil sell-off worked. Why we were expecting oil to go down and why it has worked over there. All right, so oil sell-off was also based on similar understanding, similar analysis, similar comparison. Let's bring out the copper first. Copper is a good lead, and it tells us that how inflation gonna evolve. All right, so we were expecting a similar formation, similar lag. Okay, let's just pull out this on a weekly chart. All right, so there. Okay, weekly lag happened over there. Weekly lag, happened over there in copper, and copper started to fall. So there, within this area, we are having a lower degree wedge is just forming over there. So we have seen that wedge there too before this breakout. Okay, now let's get back to the oil chart on oil. All right, so there within these areas. Okay, there where the wedge formed over there at this area. So we are having similar wedge formation or ascending channel, you can call that. All right, so like this. This was the sell opportunity when that ascending wedge broken down and oil went lower. Okay, that chart, and since hitting that top, oil is just falling. So we found top over there on oil, and oil is just simply falling since then. And even the daily drop after having that daily correction. So point here to understand is this formation. Okay, so this is where the formation we need to understand that on Bitcoin. So there we can see here. Okay, price slightly went higher and then started to fall on oil. Price, formation wedge was similar here. Okay, price spiked up. and then suddenly started to fall very, very aggressively, okay, and once went higher for another time, and then so we are having very much similar price action on the Bitcoin. So once we're gonna see that the drop is coming, okay, the sell-off, the similar sell-off, aggressive sell-off you guys are having, okay, we topped over there on Bitcoin, okay, this kind of sell-off, or this kind of sell-off is just coming out over there on this place. This will confirm that the top is in place. All right, so this stronger sell-off like this, stronger sell-off came over there, and then oil found its weekly top over there, okay. So similarly, stronger sell-off here on BTC will confirm that the next weekly leg which we were anticipating on Bitcoin to form is done, okay. This weekly leg is done. All right. Okay, so this weekly leg is done, and we are going to go down very much similar like that sideways market, or like the way oil is doing right now. So if you are a buyers on the crypto and you know, thinking that crypto is going to continue, and this run which we are having is going to continue for upside for longer term, and yeah, or buying coins at such areas, such places at high levels for longer term, yeah. So make sure you understand that what is happening, and you may end up, you know, trapping over there for longer term, and prices can fall back to the sideways market for a while. Hopefully you understand that. All right, so it took almost more than 40-50 minutes to explain these correlations, all right, so these formations, so that you guys can understand that. All right, and the weekly, the 2-week chart which we are having over there, okay, so a weekly chart from there, okay, we are still playing out that one more leg higher, okay, that leg is just simply happening over there. All right, and this next leg is just simply happening over there very nicely. So all these charts documented for the next leg higher on the Bitcoin, so you guys can have a look on them and get the idea of what has happened over there. All right, this chart, and shown that chart a couple of times ago as well. So we done that. Okay, now this is what we're gonna watch. Okay, this is what we're gonna watch. If you're gonna see stronger sell-off is coming out over there, and we are breaking down that channel. All right, so we are going much lower on the Bitcoin, maybe again going to visit the low 16, right? And this is what you are watching. Hopefully you keep it. Okay, so when Bitcoin is falling, we are now going to see altcoins going to jump. Okay, it's not making sense to keep buying the altcoins when Bitcoin is start falling very aggressively. So it's not confirmed yet. Okay, so we cannot confirm that the Bitcoin has found its weekly top. Yeah, once we see that the sharp sell-off is just coming out over there, and we are leaving the wedge aggressively to the downside, like we have seen over there on oil, we have seen already that on copper, then we are going down. Hope that makes sense, guys. Now let's move on for other assets. Okay, so similar thing gonna happen on the Ethereum. So our target is already reached on Ethereum. Okay, so let's look at the Ethereum chart. So Ethereum is done. So if you are buying Ethereum, bang, right, hit at that target over there. So 2130, yeah. So setup was there, shown by, I have shown that chart already, guys, if you remember that. So we have recently another buy opportunity was setting up over there on Ethereum there on this chart on 4-hour time frame. Clear buy opportunity was setting up over there, and just recently another one was forming over there. All right, so short-term buy opportunity here on Ethereum. So Ethereum is also just, this one more leg is just happened over there. All right, this one more leg, even Ethereum has slightly gone more higher than that. So yeah, so Ethereum won't fall. It will fall, right? But if we won't see sharp sell-off soon after when we're going to see that the Bitcoin is going down. So it will. it will fall slowly, we can say that. All right, but yes, drop on Bitcoin will confirm that Ethereum is also going to fall. Yeah, so if you want to understand that what I'm talking about, okay, when we were expecting peak on Ethereum at this top, let me find a quickly chart over there at this area. Let's see, was that on Binance or maybe another exchange, or maybe 4 hour time, 4 or 6. So what I'm talking about is that we're gonna have enough time to understand that Ethereum is also going to fall. So you're gonna see drop on Bitcoin first. Bitcoin will go down first, all right? And if Bitcoin goes down first, you're gonna have drop on Ethereum as well. So let me try to find that chart from my channel, I just recently posted that, so just you guys can understand that what I'm talking about. Let's find from there Ethereum. ETH. So this chart, these charts, all right? So these charts I'm talking about. So yes, this chart which I was searching over there. Okay, so we were expecting Ethereum to drop, all right? So the move actually was led by the Bitcoin. Okay, so this drop actually was led by the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dropped aggressively at that time. So I do have that chart too, yeah. And the next one is also, this was also led by the Bitcoin, the next drop. So if I'm gonna pull out the Bitcoin chart quickly. Look at this. It went down first, all right? So it dropped aggressively here. There, that's the next leg. Okay, this. So let's just make it mine and try to understand from there, guys. Okay, so if I'm gonna pull out my Ethereum chart on my right side and try to talk about there we can see that. Okay, so Bitcoin was strong, trending lower aggressively. We have seen from there to there on the bullish run. Okay, from there to there on the Ethereum too. And what happened over there, so we have seen strong aggressive trending move over there. So Bitcoin removed all these gains within a couple of days. Okay, so went up to 70% of this area, right? So 70%. But what we have seen over there, that Ethereum remained close to that top, yeah. So 23% this bullish move, and then started to fall after a couple of days. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so we may see quick sell-off on the Ethereum, on the Bitcoin, and that will give us a clue that yes, Ethereum is also going to drop. That's the point here. Hopefully you understand that. All right, so you hopefully you understand that analysis, guys. So spend some a lot of time on Bitcoin, yeah. So once we see that this sell-off is going to come, aggressive sell-off is just appearing over there, so we topped out on Bitcoin for weekly time frame. That's the analysis in short. Okay, so we need to look at the previous charts and need to talk about that, what has happened, yeah. So blah blah blah, all that stuff. It obviously takes time. Now let's get back to the other assets quickly. So dollar index, all right, so we may see dollar to, yeah, there is also as at the start of the weekly market outlook, I said that the question is who is going to cut first. That's going to drive these assets now. Okay, either the dollar is going to gain or euro is going to gain. Okay, so to understand that, we need to pull out two charts at side by side. Right, let's just quickly do that, and then we're going to come back onto the dollar. To understand the dollar move, we need to understand that fundamentals movement behind that. All right, so I'm going to open the European inflation, EU inflation, and I'm going to open the US inflation on my right side. Quickly, we're going to look at that, and then we're going to talk about the setup. So we are already having setups. Market is moving already on the Australian dollar. We were expecting that to go down. We got some nice, decent moves just simply happening over there. And New Zealand dollar is still lagging, all right? So New Zealand dollar and pound both are still lagging. You guys can get a good trades on them in coming days. So US inflation is there. Okay, and this is going to be the driver. So this is going to drive the currency market. Okay, so we can see there, if I'm going to pull out the 2% target, we are just about to hit the 2% target in the EU. All right, so the 2% target is still far away from the so if I'm going to pull out the US and the EU interest rate here, and I'm going to pull out the USINTR. All right, so US interest rate there, and core inflation on the EUC core inflation rate, and similar core inflation rate here, US core IR core inflation. Okay, now this is important. So the core inflation stuck at 4% in the US. 4%, all right? So we can see over there. So 4% US core inflation, while the headline inflation 2.3%, interest rate is sitting at 550 in the US. Similarly, the headline inflation has fallen to 2.4%, and the target is 2, yeah, and core is stuck at 3.6, okay, and interest rate is 450. So the real interest rate is very high in the Europe, okay, and real interest rate is also high in the US. All right. So now this is gonna drive the currency market. Okay, so whose currency gonna fall first? All right. So Fed is also gonna cut the interest rate. All right. Now this chart is telling us that whose economy is doing worse at the moment. All right. So whose economy is slowing down quickly than the other one. All right. So the EU. The US economy is not slowing down as with compared to the EU economy. So EU is in trouble, right? EU economy is slowing down very, very quickly, very sharply. And if we look at the Chinese economy and compare that economy with these two, they are in a big mess. Chinese are far more bigger mess at the moment than these two. All right. So this chart is telling us that there's going to be more pressure on the ECB to cut first, all right, rather than the Fed. Okay, and that is the last week numbers actually. The last week inflation numbers in the EU actually causing euro to go down, right? And euro was under pressure after last week inflation numbers. Okay, now yeah, keeping that picture in mind, you are looking set up accordingly into the market, all right? So when you understand that picture, then you're gonna get, yes, so we're expecting dollar to go down. Okay, dollar obviously gonna go down for longer term, right? But after Europe is getting worse quicker than the USA, so once Europe gonna go down, obviously their currency gonna go down, and that thing gonna give some strength to the dollar. All right, that thing gonna give some strength to the dollar. So you need to understand that picture. So keeping that picture in mind, so after looking at these charts, these two charts, so you should understand that what can happen next week on these on the what can happen, what Fed can do next week, and what ECB can do. Okay, what Fed can do, they only gonna talk that they're gonna keep the interest rate, this interest rate higher for longer. Okay, they gonna hold this rate higher for longer, like they have held lower for longer at these areas. There you can see they held interest rate lower for longer to bring the inflation back. Similarly, they only gonna say that they're gonna hold the interest rate higher for longer. But this is not the story here, all right, with the ECB, yeah, as inflation is significantly falling. So they cannot say that they're going to hold the interest rate higher for longer, all right, like, Fed has the chance, all right. So they have to start cutting the interest rate, and inflation is just, plunging. So after looking that thing, you understand that what can happen, yeah, what Fed can do, what ECB can do, all right. Here, what ECB can do. So ECB gonna be under more pressure as compared to the Fed. So let's get back to the setups now. All right. So what we can expect after looking that picture. Okay. So we were expecting dollar to go down. Okay. Now we may see a rebound on dollar as inflation significantly dropped in the. Yeah. So we were expecting it to go down. It is. Yeah, from that top it is falling, and all these charts were telling us that what we were expecting on the dollar to do. All right, so dollar is going down, yeah, heading towards, we were expecting it to go all the way back to this low. All right, and yeah, so these updates, so we got a correction, went lower, and we were expecting another leg lower, so we had that leg lower. Okay, and then we started to see this wedge. All right, so started to see that the wedge is just simply appearing over there. Okay, now we're gonna start looking for short-term one more up or deeper pullback, which is already underway. All right, which is already underway, guys. Okay, so if I'm gonna pull out this picture, so we are expecting it to, last week, what we were expecting last week, we were expecting short-term continuation, if you remember that. All right, so on this just short-term continuation, just keep dragging lower back to these areas or new lows. So this week we're gonna expect this to pull back. Let me make it more clear for you so that you can understand that what you are expecting. All right, so let me bring another chart for you. I've already done some work on that. So you are. So we got a stronger sell-off. Okay, we got a stronger sell-off. This is what we were expecting on the euro to do. All right, and all right, so this is what we were anticipating. So we got a stronger sell-off on the euro after the inflation numbers. So when inflation numbers released, and the euro just significantly went lower, very, very aggressively went lower. Okay, and at the same time we were anticipating euro to go down, to either pull back and then drop, or just continue to keep falling. So let me find another chart, guys, so that we can understand that where is the opportunity on these dollar pairs. All right, so let me find that. Just a second. Okay, so this chart is telling us that up to which level we can see strength, right, on dollar. So we were expecting, last week we significantly, okay, so the lead we got from this chart, all right, so we got a lead that the euro went lower very, very aggressively, removed all those gains, okay, the gains in the previous weekly market. We were talking about that to happen. So we got a stronger sell-off on the euro chief, okay, and it is simply tagging these areas and is simply telling us that everything is not fine with the Europe. Okay, Europe is struggling more than the Switzerland. This chart. Okay, so we got a wedge over there, very much the same wedge we are having over there on DXY, and similar wedges just simply happening over there on the euro. Euro one broken down, but some other pairs they haven't broken. Okay, we got a wedge, flag, and then bang. All right, and okay, so we got a same wedge here, 1 2 3. Okay, these three tops, and 1 2 3, and then broken, flag, dropped. All right, so we were expecting either flag and then go down, or drop, flag, and then go down. So, and the next chart, which is clearly telling us that what's happening right now, euro is leading us, okay, among the dollar pairs nicely. Okay, we were having sell-off, euro is going down, all right, and we were expecting pound to do the same. All right, so at least go up to this area, this place. Euro chief is suggesting us that we may see, complete removal of the losses which we are having on the DXY, all right, or dollar. So let's just be realistic that up to go up to this rather than removing all these gains. Okay, rather than removing all these gains, let's just be realistic and just remove 70% gains and go there. So after looking at this chart, we can see that the euro is going down. All right, pound is also setting up for a drop. Okay, so we already got trade. We were expecting this to go down. Okay, let me find that trade too. So for these trades, you only can get these kind of charts into my room. Okay, so the early update we had on all right, so let me this chart. All right, so we were expecting Australian dollar to go down. I updated quickly. I was away from my desk and I updated that this is what we're going to look for on the Australian dollar. We were targeting that, and then we finally start seeing, we were expecting this to go down. Remember, I told you last week that short-term trending, okay, and every time when you see that the price is forming higher high, you are looking it to go down for short-term, and if possibly you're going to see big drop, then you are going to stay in. So we finally got a continuation trade. Yeah, so price already tagged these areas. All right, tag these areas, and further downside is being shown by these charts. All right, up to which level we can extend those targets. So that chart is playing out really well. So similar trade we can see on this pound dollar. New Zealand dollar is still behind. Okay, so the updated chart, if we're gonna have updated chart, then the picture is going to be slightly different. So we're going to look at them one by one. Okay, so we were expecting sell there, and this opportunity. Yeah, so if I'm gonna, so let's just open euro dollar first with it, so that you can understand that up to which level the XY can go. Okay, there we can see that. So the wave started, the bullish wave started on these two charts from this date. All right, so let's just start from exact date. All right, so bullish wave started from there. So this is easiest way to understand that, rather than using tons of indicators. This is the easiest way to figure it out which way, trade setup you are looking. So we got a nice run over there. Okay, we got a nice similar aggressive run over there on the euro. Okay, and then we have seen that big ascending wedge and then broke out. Now this chart is suggesting us that we are going to remove all these gains. Okay, and euro is going to fall all the way up to this area. This is our lead is telling us that we are going to have a very, very strong aggressive sell-off for the downside there at these areas. Okay, up to this area, up to that low. Okay, so we are not relying 100% on this. We are just trying to be realistic. All right, rather than there, just tag these areas of this formation, this ascending wedge, which euro has already done. All right, removed 1, 2, and third top. So it has removed this wedge low. All right, okay, so euro cheap has went way below that. So we are expecting other dollar pairs to just visit this low, and in best case scenario continue to keep falling all the way. So any correction you see over there, okay, to continue to keep falling. Now, do you understand that logic for selling the euro all the way back to this low? Is it making sense right now by looking at the inflation chart first? This chart, these charts, does it make sense? Yes. Okay, so the Europe is struggling. Europe is not doing really well. The European economy is not doing really well, and we may see interest rate cut from the ECB, which can drive the euro much lower. Okay, but that's not the case at the moment with the Fed. So it's making that's the reason, okay, we have seen significant sell-off on the euro against the chief. That's caused that to go down quickly, because Swiss National Bank is not calming down, still hawkish, saying that still gonna raise the interest rate. All right, so yes, this is making our case. So now let's get back to those charts again, these charts. So where you should pay attention. All right, so we got a lead over there from the euro chief, went lower, euro went lower. So we chased down this chart we were selling every time when it was going up, we're tapping it. We were tapping the sells. Okay, it was going down, we were tapping the sell for the downside. It was going up, we were tapping, and finally we started to fall. And it is, right now, after the yesterday rate decision, the rate decision we had over there, and they said that they're not going to raise the interest rate, but they're only going to keep this. All right, so rate statement, RB rate statement. So if I'm going to go to there, you statement by Bullock. So leave the cash rate target unchanged. So that's caused the Australian dollar to drop more aggressively lower. Okay, now you understand that. So up to which level we are being realistic, we are anticipating it to just keep falling all the way up to these areas. Okay, so if I'm going to pull out my euro dollar chart now on my right side, then up to which level it can fall. DXY going to come later on. You need to understand these charts. All right, so up to that level. Got it? So DXY. Now let's get back to the DXY. So DXY. Okay, so invert that chart. So realistic target is this. All right, this is the realistic target. First, euro dollar index. Now you understand the reason why we are changing our view for a while on the dollar. We are having rate decisions on both, and inflation changed, and that can drive the dollar a bit higher. All right, so if I'm gonna invert that scale, and in case up to which level that move can go, all the way up to that top, this possibility exists over there. Okay, now you are targeting only this much first. All right, and that to go, and in case if it keeps pushing more higher, then that can be very, very aggressive move, like we have already seen that on euro chief. Hopefully you understand that. Now let's get back to the euro. Okay, now it's make my case easier what to look for on other pairs. Okay, so what to look for, you are simply looking these corrections to just keep popping up. All right, so price to stay above the trend. All right, so stay above the trend, keep breaking out correction. Yeah, in case if we are wrong, all right, and price is going to break down that 4-hour time frame flag to the downside, it will change. Yeah, it will change. Yeah, and dollar with stuff, you know, if fundamentals change significantly in the US, specifically the US inflation, all right, so if US inflation, let's say, fall faster than the, I mean, if we see, you know, 1% drop in the US inflation, this is very important, guys, so it can change everything upside down. All right, so if we are going to see 1% drop, let's say if 1% drop is going to bring down the US inflation to 2.2%. All right, the EU inflation is at 2.4%. So who's going to be the under pressure? ECB or Fed? Who's going to be under pressure, guys? Just type it over there. So if, let's say, on 12th of December, the US inflation is going to fall below the ECB inflation. So whose currency going to be under pressure? So dollar going to be under pressure or the euro going to be under pressure? Who's going to fall faster? Euro is already done. All right, so then dollar simply gonna fall faster than the, okay, so then dollar not gonna go upside. Okay, so we this is the way we're not gonna see. So dollar gonna start pushing lower. We are not anticipating that move at the moment. Okay, then dollar gonna go our original direction. All right, the direction which we are anticipating it to go there at this area. All right, like this. All right, so you don't need to be confused now. All right, that's a bigger picture and gonna take a bit longer time. So for this week, this is what you are expecting it to go higher. Okay, and euro to just continue to keep dragging lower, and just simply remove those gains. Euro is already very much done its move. Okay, and very much done its move. So you are simply looking to just keep dragging lower. So you don't have a perfect opportunity right now on it. So you only can trade for short term, and as long as price keep correcting, then just keep falling all the way back to that low. All right, these areas. All right, and just stay below those moving averages. So short term continuation to the downside. All right, like hold these tops and just stay trending to the downside. All right, so hold these tops and continue to keep trending to the downside. So short term, you're trading for short term on the euro. Okay, so pound is still a good opportunity to chase. Okay, in the previous weekly market outlook, what we were expecting a pound to hit the high, okay, but not now. After the EU inflation picture changed, okay, we were expecting, but not now. It's done. The bullish run is just simply done. So we are not anticipating. We are not looking for that. Okay, so let's just make it more easy and find opportunity. Yeah. All right, so simple analysis. No need to do a lot of stuff over there. Yeah, just put it over there. Okay, wave started from there to there. All right, so euro is sitting at that low. All right, removing those gains, sitting at that low. We're anticipating it to just keep dragging lower. keep dragging lower. All right, so you just simply fall, and I mean this is the opportunity you're looking. So you're looking for this, short term. I will talk about that on lower time frame a bit more clarity, with bit more clarity. All right, and in best case scenario, you fall up to this low. All right, okay, we'll talk about that in lower time frame. What you are watching actually. Okay, so this is what you are looking to target over there. Okay, let's say if you get stopped out. All right, so just keep tapping it to the downside as long as you see that the euro is under pressure. Simple analysis. Okay, if it goes higher, pound goes higher and stop you out. Okay, but euro keep dragging lower. It's making your potential much bigger. Right, so keep tapping it again from the top. Tap it to the downside, like where the euro is going. Okay, so this is what you are actually looking for. And in best case scenario, if we are going to see drop in the US inflation, but not bigger than the EU, then just remove all those gains and continue to keep falling and make it much bigger trade. All right, so now let's get back to the lower time frame and talk about this. So let's open the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so we can see that. Okay, so let's get back to the old chart to just understand that what I'm talking about on pound and why we are having this setup on the pound. Why we are having setup on the pound. Let's just go back here in the history and find a pound chart from there. All right, this chart. This is the chart which I'm talking about. Okay, so we got a bad inflation in the US. We got a bounce off, all right? But what happened here in this part of the chart? So there was the opportunity. We are having same opportunity again. All right, this opportunity. We got a short-term buy on the pound. Again, the updated 3-minute chart. Same chart, I think. Yeah, both a bit same. Okay, and this was the buy opportunity, and we were expecting pound to bounce up. This is the chart, you need to understand that. All right, so we were expecting buy here. What euro did, just went higher aggressively for the next leg. Okay, euro went higher, and then this chart was struggling over there at this area, so gave us a nice buy opportunity on pound. So we are having a similar setup again over there. Same opportunity is just setting up over there. Euro went down. All right, this is the next updated chart. Euro went down, and pound is still holding the highs. All right, yeah, these are the charts, so hopefully you understand that. So we are having same opportunity again. Let's get back to this. So as long as you see that, or if I'm gonna talk about a bit different way now, so you're gonna get the idea. All right, so 23% gain removed, 38%. Okay, gain 38. Euro is sitting at 38%. 38% comes there at this area. So we are still having a sell opportunity over there. Okay, so what you're doing, simply going to your lower time frame and watching all these corrections. Okay, so the perfect way to trade on this is to just simply go to your maybe 3-minute or 5-minute chart. Okay, so you can go to 5-minute. Let's say we usually use 3-minute for short term. All right, and you opening that too. early morning before the start of this weekly market outlook, we had an opportunity. This was the opportunity. That was the sell. Okay, this sell opportunity was clearly appearing over there. This short-term opportunity, it's already going over there. Okay, and this opportunity easily led by the Australian dollar. Okay, there we can see that the Australian dollar was struggling there at this area, and this chart was trending higher. See that? And it broke down. Okay, and this opportunity was appearing over there. Sell opportunity was appearing over there. So similarly, what you are doing is that you're watching the euro, you're watching the Australian dollar, and you're watching the New Zealand dollar. They're dragging lower. You keep tapping on them. You keep tapping on the pullbacks on the pound. All right, they pull back and they are falling. You're selling, stop behind that, short-term trade, and if aggressive sell-off comes, extend the target as shown on the bigger time frame. Okay, so that's how you are doing. All right, so you're watching these lower time frames very, very close with close eyes, like I have just shown you here the example. Okay, we were looking trades, and this is the 3-minute time frame. The opportunity was there. Third 3-minute time frame, euro went higher aggressively. Okay, euro went and it was showing a buy opportunity. So buy, stop behind that, and 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and it went further higher. Next chart is showing that. Then yeah, so euro was sitting over there, then pound started to play a catch-up move over there. Okay, so the next chart, this next chart, we can see that pound is, broke through that top. So similar stuff you are doing here again on this lower time frame. Okay, you're looking for first it already dropped. Okay, now watch it to come back again at the high. So if it come back, you're paying attention over there, and the bigger trade, you're looking to the downside in case if we are not going to see continuation. Okay, and price is going to visit those highs again, these areas. All right, you're still tapping it to the downside. That's the lower time frame. That's the lower time frame. So if you don't want to watch that on lower time frame and want to stick to the bigger time frame, just simply go to your 4-hour time frame and sell that breakout. Okay, if you cannot watch it on that time frame, okay, then this breakout is just simply setting up over there. Right, this 4-hour time frame breakout, and your risk reward ratio gonna look like slightly wider than. Okay, you can put your stop loss somewhere there behind that, and your target gonna be this low. Go with the first 1-to-1 risk reward ratio first. Okay, similar setup gonna be over there on New Zealand dollar, and then you are looking it to go all the way up to this. Okay, that's how you can, if you don't have time and cannot watch it on lower time frame movements. All right, so I'm showing lower time frame in trades somewhere there at these areas. Okay, and stop just behind that. This is what I'm showing on lower time frame like that. Okay, so that you can make it most out of it, of that trade. So if I'm gonna pull out my right side, and I'm gonna look at the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so the trade is very much similar. Okay, we were expecting sell opportunity. The New Zealand dollar is more focused at the moment because, yeah, so understand the pound, understand the DXY, understand the euro dollar, what to do. All right, so opportunity gonna be here. So Australian dollar. Okay, I don't think so I need to talk about that a lot. So your Australian dollar is catching up the euro. Okay, so let's start from learn this way to analyze the market. All right, this way, the way I'm doing right now. So find out the starting point of both charts. You find it, yeah, so bullish wave started from there. That's the date, 26th of October. 26th of October, price went into that direction. All right, so the end point was on the euro. here. All right, the end point on the Australian dollar here. We are not going to use that top, right? Even though we clearly can see that euro found its higher high over there. All right, so Australian dollar, found its higher high there too. All right, so we're not going to use this one, so we're going to use the exact date. So then we will be able to figure it out, the lag. All right, now we can see that move started from there to there, there to there, and let's pull out your fib lines to understand that which pair is ahead. Okay, so there we can see now that which pair is leading us, that the euro is sitting over there at 38. Okay, so Australian dollar is also catching up, 38.8. Yeah, so based on the structure, Australian dollar has to break through this low of that wedge, this low. Yeah, so means more drop. It should be over there, and more drop on the euro too. So it's catching up, it's going down already. Okay, so which pair is not going down? Gonna be our right side, this. Okay, now these two pairs are more correlated to each other, so we're going to use this again, starting point from here. All right, so to there, and just simply pull out your fib line. So you are tapping this pair to go more downside. So it's New Zealand dollar is still strong, euro dropped, Australian dollar also dropped, pound and New Zealand dollar is still strong against the dollar. They are still strong. So where is the 38%? There is the 38%. Yeah, so all right, so 38%, and we still got a room to run on this chart. All right, so we still got a room to run, almost 100 pip move left over there. Okay, so what you're doing, you tap in it every time, and you see that it's pushing higher, you tap in it to the downside so that you can catch it. So hopefully you understand that. So the technique is same. So Australian dollar already dropped, very much similar like the euro. Okay, and the technique is same. So you're still tapping those charts to continue to keep falling, as we can see that the move on the euro chief is suggesting us that we can go more downside on we can see more strength on the dollar. All right, so the pair is the New Zealand dollar, so I'm going to talk about that New Zealand dollar first, so then we're going to talk about the Australian dollar, because the opportunity is there. So similar trade we were anticipating here on the New Zealand dollar. Okay, let me find that chart again. Similar chart like Australian dollar. So both pairs were short, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, and they were short. So just keep tapping. So these charts I'm showing you so that you can keep tapping on them from the top, as long as they stay close to the top. Just keep tapping on their head for the downside. And this is what I have told you last week to do. All right, so we were tapping it, we were short there, stop behind that, and this move is already happening over there. So same was on the pound, tapping on the pound had to, yeah. So short was there at these areas, and the stop behind that, and this trade is already on its way, yeah. As shown on the bigger time frame, that the New Zealand dollar still can drag more downside, more lower. All right, so this chart is telling that how far. Now let's get back to the New Zealand dollar and find out similar trade. Okay, so New Zealand dollar is also a similar trade. this chart is similar like the pound. So let's straight away go to your lower time frame and keep tapping on their head. Flat formation, just stay below. So it has already dropped lower. Yeah, so during the day or during the week, you are watching these highs. Yeah, these highs, and if it pulls back and test that hold, continue to keep dragging lower. If don't have enough time, then just simply go to your 4-hour time frame or 1-hour time frame, okay, and look for this breakout, sharp breakout. All right, and put your stop behind that. Okay, looking for like this, and 38%. Right, so the target 38% is here, and in best case scenario, you're looking them to continue to keep falling, remove all those gains. Okay, and these areas, these gonna be the target. So the target gonna be, okay, first 38%, this target, or all those gains continue to keep falling all the way back to that low. Okay, remember, inflation gonna be very important. This inflation can change the whole picture. All right, this can change the whole picture, so you need to understand that. So that's your New Zealand dollar. All right, and Australian dollar is also dropping, and we may see the whole leg lower. Okay, and I'm gonna remove that, and this whole leg up to this previous low, guys, this area, it can go all the way back to that low. So lower time frame, okay, already told you what to do on lower time frame. Okay, and I don't think so I need to talk about that much. It's already pushing lower. You're finding your, pullback, and the price to just keep falling as long as you see that the euro is struggling. All right, so you are looking these to correct and keep falling to the downside. Okay, you don't have a sell opportunity right now on it. Okay, but once correction appears and breaks down, you can chase it. Correction is just trying to appear over there. Okay, on this 5-minute time frame, we still got a room to left over there to catch. All right, and dollar CAD to just simply go back up. All right, so we may not see whole move. Let me remove these charts and talk about the dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD can go back up. Yeah, we may not see to test the lows. All right, the lows we were talking about in the previous. Okay, so a dollar CAD can go back up. All right, so just simply change the picture so we can go back up all the way back to that top. We may not see more downside on dollar CAD. Okay, so bigger picture, 2-week chart. Weekly chart, I think. Oh, I have changed that. That's not FXEM. That's a different. So yes, just this to just go back up. All right, so you're looking for a short-term trade, guys. Okay, and right now it's okay, it's doing all right. So the previous weekly market outlook, we were anticipating this flag to I was looking for this to continue to keep dragging lower before the start of the weekly market outlook. Right, and that trade did really well, and price has just extended that whole leg all the way back to that low. So yes, picture is very much same now, right? So don't need to talk about a lot. All right, so yeah, if I'm gonna open my euro chart on my right side, yeah, so the picture is also same. All right, so starting point, figure it out. What is the starting point? That is the starting point, and this is the starting point. All right, this is the starting point, and it made higher high later, like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar did. All right, so higher high was there. Let's make it there. All right, and fib lines to from there to there. Okay, so 38% target comes somewhere here. All right, at this area. Yes, and that's the wedge. This is the wedge. All right, that's the wedge, which is just trying to remove that. So as long as euro is just keep tapping lower, all right, so you are looking it to just continue to keep pushing more higher. You see that the channel is also appeared over there on the dollar CAD. So what you are simply looking at, it is already pushing higher, all right, and yeah, so CAD started to reverse. Dollar started to reverse against the CAD. Dollar, by the way, gaining. So what you are looking, you cannot chase that. If you want to chase that, then the simple strategy I have, the technique I have just shown you, cannot sit over there on your screen. Breakout is just simply happening. Pull trade right now. Okay, put your stop behind that. Go at least with 1-to-1 first, and let the market decide. Okay, if you don't have enough time, just clone and target. All right, clone another and extend your targets there. Okay, if you don't have time. So if you have time, you're watching, you're tracking, go to your lower time frame and find a pullback over there. A decent pullback. Price to come back within these areas, and there you are looking for, yeah, so short-term trade within these areas. Okay, and then if stop just behind that, we pull back first. Pull back, hold these areas, short-term target or correct. All right, correct entry somewhere there. Yeah, once that correction gonna happen, and then you are looking to continue. So how it's gonna confirm that the trade is going to continue for upside? Okay, as I have just shown you, watch out across the market. If dollars start to gain against one, then the others are going to follow that. Okay, that's going to confirm your trade. So you're looking that way on the dollar CAD. Pound CAD to fall. Yeah, so some of the pairs I will go through quickly. All right, so dollar CAD to go down simply. Sorry, pound CAD to go down. All right, so if it tests that top, you're tapping it from that top, the previous high. If not, then you're paying attention at these areas. So actually what we are anticipating, pound to get more, pound to get weaker quicker than the CAD. All right, pound to get weaker than the CAD. So you're paying attention. They're looking for this trade and possible continuation to the downside all the way back to this low. All right, this low, and this is to go back up. All right, go back up. So we are having some strength over there already. On pound. So trade setup is already clearly defined over there on these two charts. So I'm going to pull out my Australian dollar chart. Last week we were anticipating some buying over there on these charts, all right, but inflation dropped them very aggressively lower, specifically the euro. But now we can see that the setup is just simply farming over there. Why is that? Why we are okay? So why we are expecting buy on these two? We clearly can see that euro fallen first, all right, then Australian dollar is catching up. All right, Australian dollar is catching up the euro dollar. All right, that's why we are having a strength over there. on pound against the Australian dollar, but we are not having strength on the pound against the New Zealand dollar because New Zealand dollar is still strong against the dollar. Yeah. And the Australian dollar is telling us that New Zealand dollar is set to catch up the move to the downside against the dollar, right? And once we can have that, we're going to see this is going to continue to keep pushing more higher, very much similar like that. So there's going to be a buy opportunity on this chart for upside. Hopefully you understand that. If not, then sell it. You're gonna understand that after selling it. Once you're gonna stop out. So simply you paying attention, not more downside simply, okay? So just simply looking this to, I mean you're simply looking it to buy within these areas, all right? Stop just, right? So stop just behind that and look this to go all the way back to that top. All right, this high or all the way back to that high. So first go for 1-to-1 on lower time frame. So this is going to be the trade, all right? And this is also going to be the trade. These two trades you still can catch up. You're selling the New Zealand dollar against the dollar, and you're expecting the weakness on the New Zealand dollar as well. So if I'm going to pull out my right side on the Euro Aus, okay, Australian dollar significantly dropped, bounced off from this low. Strategy is very much similar. All right, so these lows, that high, fib lines, who's ahead? Yeah, so euro is gaining against the Australian dollar, but we can see that this chart is still stuck over there. So New Zealand dollar has to get weaker too. So you're gonna have a catch-up move over there. Okay, this area, this chart, stop behind that and 1-to-1 target first. All right, stop behind that, open another one. You can extend targets there and go all the way back to the high. Hope that makes sense. Okay, go to your lower time frame. Pay attention at these areas closely. Every time when price is falling means that's giving you the opportunity. Okay, so we do have a read the scene on the New Zealand dollar as well. So let me find it out where it is. Okay, so at the start I have explained with so much details, guys, why we are not anticipating these banks to raise interest rate more. So when the New Zealand Australian, they're done already. RBA done. RBNZ is still to come. That's fine from there. I think they have already done, or I have just no, that was the Bank of Canada, I think. Yeah, I made a mistake. Yeah, they have already done on. And let's find from here what is the next date. They already done, all right? So on 29th of November. So this is the, yeah, they already done. All right, Yeah, so they were, RBNZ was a bit hawkish, which caused the New Zealand dollar to gain. So any news from New Zealand dollar can drive it aggressively lower. So you're paying attention on these areas, these places, all right, for the short-term trade first, and in best case scenario, a quick, sharp, aggressive rise will make the move for upside quickly. Okay. So same pound Australian dollar jumped already, guys. So won't suggest you to do anything on it, okay? But in case if it pulls back, as we are expecting pound to catch up to the downside, okay? Pound still can visit that low. So yeah, it can stay sideways up for a while, okay? Like that. So we may not see, a quick jump over there. But yes, this is going to be the picture. All right, and Euro Australian dollar also jumped already. Yeah, so this is going to be the picture. So in case if pulls back, all right, then it can if it pulls back somewhere there close to these areas, move has already happened over there. Yeah, so you're paying attention. Looking for buy and looking for this to so give you a nice move all the way back to that high. So move already happened. In case if pulls back like this dip, correct, then you are looking it to go back up. Otherwise move is already happened over there. All right, so Uzi Chief to just simply go down back to that floor. It's already broken. Last week we were expecting it to break down and continue. Australian dollar, we were anticipating Australian dollar to drop. Yeah, so last night it dropped and going down. So move is already happening over there. So yes, expecting it to just continue to keep dragging lower. So in case if it pulls back, it can give you a sell opportunity. But yes, the picture is clear. Okay, so I have already shown you that. Yeah, so what this chart is suggesting, we are going to have a mess again. All right, and this chart is telling us that we are going back to that low again. All right, so same strategy, this top to that top, and yeah, so euro drop, chief strong. All right, made that move. Okay, so dropped aggressively, and price is just simply going back to that low. So yeah, it's dropped already. Yeah, so suggesting a very quick sharp sell-off. So may continue to keep falling quickly to the downside. Yeah, so but in case if you see similar like I have shown you on euro Rs, okay, pullback comes like that correction. It's just simply forming similar pattern formations. Just look at that. Okay, top. All right, so top, flag. All right, so flag and bang. All right, so we may not see a pullback, and it can just quickly track to that low. So if pullback, then you're looking it to continue. Yeah, there you are paying attention, still at the top. Yeah, it's going down, but this is still stuck at that top. All right, so you're looking it to continue to keep dragging lower. So look for a small pullback, gonna give you the entry within these areas. Okay, within these areas, and stop just behind that top. And you're looking it to keep falling. All right, these targets, and all the way back to that low. Okay, so if I'm gonna pull out Uzi Chief, I'm gonna look at this. So slightly ahead of that. Okay, there we can see that slightly ahead of that. And if I'm gonna pull out Euro Chief, way ahead of that. Yeah, Euro Chief is just simply taking out these lows. So we still I mean, weaknesses are still due on the New Zealand dollar. Same goes on this chart. Okay, so you're looking this to drag lower to again, guys, we are having similar structure everywhere. Top, 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 flag, okay, and drag. All right, so if I'm gonna find this chart starting point, let's find the starting point. All right, so let's find the starting point from there, this low. All right, so you go there to there, or there, yeah. So there, similar, you know, wedge over there, wedge. All right, so top, yeah. So top, and sideways correction, bang. So this correction to fall down. So again, be realistic. Don't be just, you know, unrealistic. Yeah. So target these small trades first. All right, clone and 38% there. All right, and clone. Best case scenario. If it exactly follow the chief, euro chief, then go all the way back to that low. Yeah, that's where you're paying attention. So what this is telling simply, yeah, I'm simply selling you. You're tapping the New Zealand dollar, like I said to you here. Okay, you're tapping the New Zealand dollar to catch up. All right, so catch up the Australian dollar, catch up the euro dollar. All right, and New Zealand dollar to catch up. Okay, New Zealand dollar and Australian dollar to fall quicker than the CAD. Dollar gaining. Okay, CAD gonna get a sympathy move from the dollar strength. Okay, against specifically against these risk on currencies. So, so you're paying attention these areas. All right, if it pulls back, you're watching these this short-term trade, and in case if price, you know, do not test that top, then simply, as I said, that the thumbs up rule. Okay, this is not gonna be, I mean, this is gonna be a chasing. If stronger sell-off comes over there, yeah, so chasing the late entries like that. Then risk VAR ratio not gonna be good enough. Okay, then this is going to be this story. So it's a slow moving pair. All right, so I'm not anticipating a quick drop on this. Yeah, if it pulls back, test that top, these areas. Okay, then you're watching and trying to catch the trade from as much high as possible. First of all, go for 1-to-1, and if price start falling, extend your targets accordingly. 1-to-2, 1-to, yeah. So same. This is also same, yeah. So started to drag lower already, like Uzi dollar US dollar. All right, so yeah, so already dropped lower, guys. So yeah, so I wouldn't suggest you, yeah, you cannot you know, get into that trade from that top now, because price has already fallen from that top. You can see that. So the trade was same like the Australian dollar US dollar, yeah. So in case if price pulls back, all right, so we see a pullback and test these areas, which right now I don't see, but in case if it does, okay, then you are looking at to just again follow the same move like the New Zealand dollar, CAD, same chart. Ignore this. All right, so we may see a bounce off, aggressive, you know, strong move for upside. It's just simply setting up for a buy from there. Slightly can go lower, but once price tag this area, you start looking for this trade. Okay, we already having that trade. That trade is already setting up over there. We already got that move on pound chief. Okay, but the euro is weaker at the moment because of the inflation report, and is being shown that the move is set to happen from this low. So this low gonna be a good buy opportunity. Remember last week we were anticipating this to tap this to downside from this high for short term, yeah. So it went lower all the way back to that low. So similarly, let's just invert that chart to understand this formation. Okay, so similar formation we can see over there on all right, so I have just inverted that. So what is unusual here on this chart? What is unusual? Okay, so you see that both going into the same direction from, so let's just from look at there to there. All right, so started from there. I mean a bit of late over there. Okay, but the move started actually on the euro pound first. So euro started to fall first rather than the pound. All right, so euro went lower first. So all right, so this is the okay, this is all right. Okay, this correlation is okay, this is perfect. All right, so pound chief went higher, euro pound went lower, but this is unusual move. Right? This is not a usual move, this is unusual move. So both went lower aggressively. All right, I mean specifically the pound went lower against the chief. So basically chief went higher very aggressively, chief got stronger. So this is an unusual move. All right, so what this is suggesting us, that we may see weaknesses on the pound. All right, pound is going to fall very, or basically this is telling us that we are going to see a risk off move across the market, across the risk on assets very soon. This is telling us. All right, and we may see a pound euro can jump aggressively from these lows. Okay, and this trade is already shown by here on the euro pound. Okay, so what you are simply looking for, once you see that the euro pound is just simply tagging that, you are looking it to bounce back. So the way to trade is this. Okay, so once price tag that low, you're looking for a short term. You need to trade first over there with at least 1-to-1 risk reward ratio within these areas. All right, so 1-to-1, and in best case scenario, just reverse and go back up. Pound chief, I'm just simply going to ignore this. It has already made the move last week we were talking about. All right, and it can drag more lower. Okay, same rules. This to there. Okay, if I'm going to pull out euro chief, big eyes. All right, so move started from there. All right, so from there to, all right, so let's just use that top. All right, so and euro chief is just simply dragged slightly to the downside. Okay, and we may see further downside on the pound against the chief all the way back to that low. This is suggesting a buy opportunity on the euro pound. Okay, this is actually a risk off indication. All right, so euro chief is a safe haven. Okay, all right, so euro aggressively went lower on CPI number, aggressively dropped. Yeah, so money moved very aggressively. So this is indication that the something is not right into the market. All right, something is big players, they started to move their money so quickly, went into the Swiss banks. They started to put their money into the Swiss bank. All right, and also Fed is going to come. Fed, market is setting up for price interest rate cuts. Fed Powell, last time when we had last week's speech from Powell failed to fail to calm down the market for rate cuts. All right, but this is telling us that Powell is still to come. All right, after 2 weeks, and you're taking Powell lightly. So we'll see how these moves gonna appear over there. Yeah, but we are already having some indications. This is a good sign. Okay, there's gonna be a buy opportunity. Last week we were anticipating Australian dollar to draw from there to there. Okay, it's making it move. It's making its move. So New Zealand dollar US dollar chart is behind. Australian dollar US dollar chart is ahead. We were expecting New Zealand dollar chart to follow up the Australian dollar US dollar. Once we start seeing drop on the New Zealand dollar US dollar, there's going to be a buy opportunity on this chart simply from these lows. All right, so you're paying attention on these lows and looking for a buy. Okay, looking for a buy within these areas. Okay, the lower the price goes, going to be good. The wider the gap we're going to have on the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar is a great thing. Okay, more potential. More potential. The lower that goes, the lower this chart goes means that the gap is becoming wider between the New Zealand dollar US dollar and Australian dollar US dollar. So the wider the gap, the more the potential going to be on New Zealand dollar US dollar sell off. All right, so how that gap can get wider, so we can have stronger sell off, quick sell off on the Australian dollar US dollar, but New Zealand dollar US dollar can stay at the top, may not drop aggressively like the Australian dollar US dollar. Okay, that gap can get wider. All right, so opportunity will remain over there on New Zealand dollar US dollar for the downside. So this is, I mean, you're paying attention or buy within these areas. Okay, go back up. Simple analysis. Euro chief, they're gonna be a raid the CN. Okay, looking for this to draw from that top, but selling it a bit risky, as we can see that the chief is the only safe haven currency at the moment after the dollar, or before the dollar, even stronger than the dollar. Okay, so euro, last week we were anticipating euro to drag. Euro started to fall. Now this is a very important picture. We are trying to counter it since very long, all right, but after some counter moves, it is pushing higher. But right now some fundamental changes are happening over there. Yeah, so let's just quickly pull out those fundamental changes on it. So euro, we have already seen that chart, guys. So euro, EUR, IRY, and INTR. Yes, INTR is stuck over there. So if I'm gonna pull out the JPIRYY, so the JPRYY color is slightly need to be changed. That let's make it light. All right, and so the interest rate interest rate in the Japan is so low, right? So there we can see that they are now raising the interest rate. They are holding that interest rate in the negative territory. So they are behind the curve simply. So Japan is just simply behind the curve. So their inflation is 3.3. Inflation is high. Okay, their inflation is still stuck over there at that top. EU inflation started to fall very, very aggressively. Okay, so we can expect the ECB to start cutting rate over time. All right, and what we can expect from the Bank of Japan to do in the longer run, all right, to just come out from this negative territory. So any small move from Bank of Japan gonna bring down that inflation. All right, so their inflation also gonna follow the rest of the world inflation. So this is not going to happen that the Japanese inflation gonna keep rising and the rest of the world gonna keep going down. All right, so their inflation gonna start falling too and gonna face the reality. So any small move from Bank of Japan gonna create a huge volatility over there, okay, and we may experience similar kind of move which we have experienced back in 2008. All right, and this policy lag can play out really well. So this is a time bomb, ticking time bomb. All right, and ticking time bomb, and Bank of Japan is still holding the nerve. So that's why every time when euro goes higher, new high, paying attention it to go down. All right, so we still may see another leg higher on the euro against the yen. Okay, so it still can push higher for another leg. This one more leg can happen. So this is the bigger structure. So I wouldn't suggest you to just keep chasing that trade. Okay, it has already done. Last week we were anticipating it to go down, it dropped, so you shouldn't this is the formation we had last week as well. So broken out, pulled back, and then start falling, correcting, continue to keep falling. So I wouldn't suggest you to chase. Yeah, you can trade on these small moves for the downside. All right, and I wouldn't suggest you to, because there is a possibility for another leg higher, as I have shown you one more leg higher on the dollar. If that happens, dollar yen gonna go higher, and these pairs gonna start rising after that. Once we're gonna have dollar yen bullish move or upside. So or you can trade on these small moves. All right, so that's the euro yen. Okay, but where you paying attention is the pound yen. This is still stuck at that top. Okay, it's gone, it's dropped. Okay, but this is still stuck at that top. Simple analysis, we removed, all right, these, yeah, so fib lines from there to there. So we dropped up to 61% of this bullish move. Pound yen from there to there. All right, so 60% is still there. So we may see drop there. So there you are chasing the lower time frame corrections, okay, for downside. All right, and paying attention on these highs closely at these areas. Okay, you should be more interested on the pound yen. Okay, pound is still behind, lagging the euro dollar, right? And any bad data from the UK can drive the pound aggressively lower. Okay, so there you're paying attention, like you're searching these trades, and continue to keep falling all the way up to 60%. Okay, they're going to be the trade, guys. They're going to be the trade. So dollar yen, okay, we may see dollar yen is start falling, okay, but there is still possibility for another leg higher. Okay, yes, you need to keep that thing in mind. This is going to be a major driver if they change something during the, okay, they can, Bank of Japan can send the earthquake on yen pair, so you shouldn't ignore this. Every single meeting from the Bank of Japan is very important. They can surprise the market. All right, so maybe they can abandon the yield curve control on this meeting. Who knows? Yeah, so they are so dovish, extremely dovish bank on 19th of December. So if they are going to do anything on this meeting, then we may see earthquakes. All right, then we're not going to have that one more up move. Okay, and then it's going to break down and going to continue to keep falling. So what you need to keep in mind, is the US 10-year. All right, so what's happening here? This is falling. All right, so you're not going to understand that here. Okay, I'm going to pull it there, then you're going to see that clearly. Okay, inflation is falling in the US. USIRYY. Okay, so we are trending lower. Okay, so inflation is falling, and finally we can see that the 10-year yield started to fall, dropped from 5% to 420. All right, and we had that whole move on the US 10-year yield. Started from there to there. Okay, now let's just look at that, how much that move has reversed. Okay, go to your lower time frame, find it from this to this. All right, and similarly, if I'm going to remove the fib lines, I'm going to put a new one to understand that. All right, so from there, right there to there to there. All right, so we are testing 50%. So dollar yen can continue to keep falling, all right, up to 50%. So what I'm showing, okay, one more possibility on the dollar. Dollar still can push for another leg higher, but you shouldn't ignore the US 10-year yield. Right now, US 10-year yield is a bit lagging, all right? Okay, but on Fed rate decision, Paul can push this up, all right? If Paul is going to push this up, all right, then we're going to see another leg higher. We may not see one more drop lower, all right? And Bank of Japan is going to be a big player, which we cannot ignore, yeah? So if they change, all right, then this is not going to push higher. They are already watching the dollar yen very closely over there, okay? And they have, they haven't intervened yet, but dollar started to fall. So they won't let this to push higher, dollar yen to push higher, yeah? So longer term is a perfect sell opportunity on dollar yen, but there is possibility that we may not see continuation to the downside, okay, at the moment, as we were expecting dollar to push more higher. So you have to be a bit careful selling the dollar yen at this area, okay? And so the right time to buy the dollar yen gonna be the Fed rate decision, not today. All right, just let it do what it is doing right now, and when Fed is going to come on 12th, then you're expecting it to break out and test the top and then start falling. All right, so this pair is being manipulated. So the picture is clear. We are just watching it very closely, okay, and looking at it to go down for longer term. It dropped already from the top, but there is still possibility for another leg. If that happens, you're selling it for longer term from that top. All right, so CAD yen is also similar. Okay, we were expecting a sell opportunity on this. It's going down. Yeah, a big sideways market. We may see another push and then drop. I'm gonna ignore it. All right, the lower time frame, I'm gonna ignore it on lower time frame, but gonna keep give you a clear picture. Okay, this is where you're paying attention on a bigger time frame. Yeah, every time I test that, just keep tapping it from that top to the downside. All right, so we had a sell opportunity over there. It did well, but you're paying attention on the New Zealand dollar. Just keep tapping it right now. Keep tapping this pair from the top. So they are actually completing the lagging move. So they are actually completing the lagging move. Okay, we had a very nice sell opportunity. Let me just look at that first. We got a perfect sell setup on this chart. Okay, just this. Okay, we had a sell opportunity last Friday before closing, and we are having a nice leg, just extended up to that low. All right, short-term target was there, and after the RBA rate decision, it's just flush to the downside. So where is the sell opportunity? Yeah, after watching that move, your brain should spark quickly. After watching this quick move, you should have, your brain should start ticking quickly that why Australian dollar went lower against the yen, but why the New Zealand dollar is still holding the highs. Okay, that's where your brain should start telling you this something that where you should pay attention. Simple. Okay, we same you know technique. 50% removed all those gains. Okay, 50% is still there. It has to go down. So already start falling. We were just keep tapping it from that top. All right, in our room we were, you know, looking it to go down from that top. It slightly went higher, yeah, caused by the RBA, and stop falling. Yeah, so opportunity is still there. So if it does not fall, goes back up, okay, has that 91.60 or 91 areas, just keep tapping it. Just keep tapping it as long as you see that the Uzi yen is just trending lower. All right. So basically what's happening here on these two charts, they are, you know, catching up the dollar yen wave. So we had a dollar yen run, okay, there at this area. Dollar yen went up to 51. They are completing that. So you're tapping on them at that high for the downside. So you are, this is going down. All right. So right now I don't have opportunity, but in case if you see that the technique to trade on these three pairs is that the three pairs, okay, these three pairs. So Aussie yen, CAD yen, and Kiwi yen. Okay, if you see that the CAD yen fall quickly, aggressively to the downside, but these two pairs they do not fall. They stay high. Okay, so they start selling the Australian dollar, start selling the New Zealand dollar. So you can use that CAD yen pair as a lead. Okay, but CAD yen will not fall without dollar yen drop. So dollar yen goes down, drag the what is the sequence basically? It's dollar yen. All right, so dollar yen moves first, then the others move. Okay, so drop on dollar yen will push these pairs higher. So Aussie yen will go higher, Kiwi yen will go higher. Yeah, all these I mean the euro yen will follow the dollar yen. Euro yen will drop lower with the dollar yen. Okay, but drop on the dollar yen is basically a weaknesses on the dollar. All right, and when dollar yen goes down, dollar, you know, it push other pairs against the dollar higher, like euro goes higher, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, all right, so CAD, pound, they goes higher. So eventually they push the pound, Aussie, Kiwi, CAD higher against the yen. All right. So actually dollar yen is your lead that the yen is going to gain. Okay, when dollar goes down against the yen is going to get stronger against the others. Okay, so dollar yen, CAD yen, both are highly correlated to each other. All right, so if dollar yen goes down, it will eventually drag the CAD yen lower too. When CAD yen goes down, your brain should spark that the why CAD yen is going down, but Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, they are not going down. All right, then you are chasing these two pairs. Okay, so that was the idea behind that trade. All right, so you are using that idea again on the Kiwi yen as well. So yeah, so what you are looking actually, so the trade has already gone to the downside. Yeah, so I won't ask you to do much on this chart, but in case if you see that it's pulling back, a bigger pullback is coming back to that top, still going to be a sell opportunity. All right, but right now just lower time frame. Okay, pullback, small trade, pullback, small trade. All right, but there you are paying attention. There you are keep paying attention on this chart. Keep tapping it. The higher it goes, just keep hammering this chart. Okay, so let me find a chart. This is the chart you need to keep in your mind. Okay, when it was testing that high, we were hammering it down from that high, and we finally got that big drop to the downside. Okay, what happening at that time? The Aussie yen, you're not gonna understand that from here. Let me open side by side. Okay, there. So what happened over there? This is what I'm talking about again. Same words, same stuff. Nothing changed over there. All right. So we were, yeah, aggressive move came over there on Aussie yen. There you can see dropped, bang. All right, then we were expecting a correction and then continue to keep falling. But what happened at here? Look at there. Okay, you're gonna understand this in a better way. All right, here, where was the top? There was the top. Okay, there was the top, and look at this. There was the low, right? And there was the top. So basically, what was happening here? The New Zealand dollar was going to the opposite direction to the rest of the market, driven by the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Reserve Bank of New Zealand was more hawkish at that time as with compared to the Australian and the rest. So that caused this divergence to happen. Okay, what was happening here? Aussie was falling, going down. What was happening here? It was pushing higher. Okay, stuck over there. Okay, and then finally, what happened? Started to catch up things. Started to realize the rest of the market. Okay, and then broken down very, very aggressively. So you are having same opportunity again. All right, so you're having same opportunity again. Just keep tapping it. Previously we were keep tapping it. The short-term trades appeared over there. All right, so but longer term trade appeared over there too. So these were the short-term on lower 4-hour time frame moves. All right, and looking for it to go down or our new high, and then we got a breakdown, and then again price went higher, those higher for that next leg. Okay, tested that top, this top, and then started to bang lower. The aggressive move came over there, this sell-off, sharp sell-off. Look at that. Then it started to realize that where the rest of market is going, New Zealand dollar should have gone to that direction. So what you are having, again, similar picture. You just keep tapping it. All right, like so. As long as you see that new Australian dollar is falling against the yen, you are tapping this pair. You are tapping the Kiwi yen. Yeah, making sense. Making sense now. You're tapping it. It's falling. All right. So the lower this pair goes, the lower this pair goes. Okay, you tap in it. Let me tell you another interesting thing. All right. So if I'm gonna pull out weekly chart and gonna pull out my copper chart on it. All right, so just a second, let's open the copper chart from down there. So we have, at the start, we have seen copper with inflation, XCUUSD, all right? So this copper chart with inflation. So interesting chart, XCUUSD. XCUUSD. Let's try to find the copper, because this is not okay. This will work. All right. So there we can see that copper was inflationary, went higher. Aussie yen is just simply went higher too. Okay, now copper is dragging lower, and Aussie yen is still higher at that top. Okay, so we will keep tapping those tops on the Aussie yen. Okay, so if you compare that within the past data, okay, they moved neck on neck. Right, where the copper went, Aussie yen went lower. So Aussie yen is actually it tells us the risk sentiment into the market, what kind of risk sentiment sentiment is. So dropping Aussie yen basically tells us that how the risk on assets are doing. Okay, so copper is down, so you tap in the Aussie yen as well from that top for longer term to the downside, guys. Hopefully you understand that. All right, so same goes with the Kiwi yen. So Kiwi yen is at the bad spot to tap it from that top. So you tap in it again. All right, so tap in it, keep tapping on this head, on the Kiwi yen head. So last time when we were tapping, it was there at that place. Okay, so Euro CAD, I'm gonna not a best shot at the moment. Yeah, so finally went down. Okay, so sideways, a big sideways market can happen over there. Yeah, so I'm gonna ignore it. I don't have opportunity on it. I don't have opportunity in the CAD chief. Okay, so it's still going down. Last week we were, yeah, so this one more drop happened. Yeah, so it can happen, so ignore that CAD chief. Okay, so dollar rand to go higher. Okay, dollar rand to go higher. So since last week, don't have a perfect opportunity over there. Continue. All right, so ignore this. Dollar Chinese yuan, so much manipulation is coming from the People Bank of China. Okay, but we still can go back up on this chart. As I said, the dollar still can push more higher. Yeah, not a best chart at the moment. Euro chief, you're paying attention at these lows for reversal, for buy. Okay, but we are not going to see reversal on the Euro chief anytime soon, as until we see the other assets to complete their wave, the bearish wave which I have just shown. Okay, once they're going to complete, then we're going to start seeing bullish momentum on this chart. So it is going to take some time to recover from these lows. All right, so don't rush on it. Yeah, just keep eyes. You can get a short-term buy opportunities from these lows with one-to-one counter trend moves. Okay, from these lows, the previous lows. Just keep eyes on these lows. Be very careful. Okay, it can drag more lower aggressively, so be very careful when you are going to counter these small one-to-one move. Okay, from these previous lows. All right, so US equities, we were completely wrong on the US equities. We were anticipating one more leg lower. Previously they just gone higher aggressively, so but we are still looking for them to go down. All right, so simply higher equities gonna create panic for the Fed. Okay, higher equities means simply higher inflation. More inflation is in the pipeline, so it's going to be really hard for the Powell to let it go higher. Yeah, so Fed is coming next week, so they can Powell can drag that lower. So we got a strong aggressive move simply. All right, so we are still anticipating this to go down. Okay, haven't changed much. So not anticipating continuation for upside. Okay, so just go down. So if you're selling, you can get a sell opportunity, but be very careful. Only look for sell it to happen when very strong aggressive sell-off is just coming over there. So yes, looking for this to go down, and very much similar setup on the Nikkei and Nasdaq 100 index. All right, so Nasdaq 100 index is done its bullish move. So let me pull out another chart for you to understand that. Okay, so Euro chief is telling us about the risk sentiment. All right, and that risk sentiment seems changing very, very quickly. Okay, and you're paying attention. Previously we were comparing CAD, Kiwi CAD. Okay, we are still expecting Kiwi CAD to play out. Still Kiwi CAD, price slightly gone beyond the previous highs, but we are still anticipating Kiwi CAD these equities to do very much similar like the Kiwi CAD, which we were anticipating last week, and we already have that indication from Euro chief. Okay, so Nasdaq 100 index. So Euro chief formed that sending wedge, sharp sell-off, flag, went down, tested that low. All right, similarly, that bullish move started from here. Equities went higher. Okay, so started to form that ascending channel over there, trying to break through this low at this area. All right, so similar correction is just happening over there, like we have seen there, okay, at this area, and setting up for a breakdown. Again, that you are looking this sharp sell-off over there, and how far that sharp sell-off goes, we'll see. But yes, sticking to the downside on the equities, okay, and there you're paying attention on this breakout. So Nasdaq 100 index is just trying to break through. So if we are going to have a sharp aggressive sell-off, which we are anticipating, we'll see what it is going to drive that. Okay, but yes, we are still sticking to these gains to remove, and indices to go down. All right, and S&P 500 is also repeating that formation, the formation which we have seen over there. So if I'm gonna go back to the current price, okay, this is what you are looking now. Okay, if I'm gonna pull out the risk sentiment chart, where is that? Okay, so sell-off is coming over there, but it's not very strong, and we may see a couple of, flag over there like that before we're gonna get a breakout. So flag broken out. Okay, that the lower the euro goes, okay, equity is gonna stay under pressure. All right, the lower the euro goes, equity is gonna stay under pressure, and this is the move which we are anticipating. How far this leg goes, we'll see that. All right, but it's following this is the move we are anticipating. Go all the way back to that low, and from that low we may find a buy opportunity. Okay, so staying bearish, okay, and we may not see breakup, guys. Okay, we may not see breakup that top on the Nasdaq 100 index. So highly likely we're going to see one more leg lower, as higher equities not good for the Fed. So same, don't need to talk about that much. Same picture. Okay, break down that ascending channel, aggressively correct, and keep falling. All right, so US, ignore that. US 2000, it's pushing higher, but it's gonna stay sideways. Okay, gonna stay sideways, within that sideways. Nikkei already started pushing lower, right, but it's not very aggressive at the moment. Okay, as we can see that the euro is already making move, and they will take some time, so this is to happen. Okay, so you see that same structure is appearing over there, same formation. Gold to go down to, so gold, as I said at the start, gold done, and you are just simply staying sideways, big sideways market, and we are anticipating at least up to this, or best case scenario, go all the way back within these areas. All right, how to trade? New Zealand dollar is broken out. We were just talking about that breakout. Okay, it's just trying to break out that, but breakout is pretty slow. But yes, that's what we are looking. All right, so euro, let me check. All right, this is, you paying attention on this. Pound is not breaking. Yeah, this is going down. This is also catching up the Australian dollar. So you tap in it, you tap in the New Zealand dollar hard, tap it hard. So where the gold? Okay, gold. So yes, you can also tap to the gold, and just watching these highs very closely. It shouldn't, yeah, you got already a strong sell-off over there. Manipulation, we call that manipulation. And when you are, it's already gone. When manipulation was happening, that should be the trade. All right, for medium to longer term, that should be the trade when that sell-off was coming over there. All right, and longer term trade gonna be like that. All right, That was a big trade from that top like this for longer term. Okay, but it's gone. Okay, you cannot do that now. So what you can do is you paying attention these corrections. All right, and paying attention on these corrections and looking for these corrections too. Let's make it more simple. All right, so these corrections to just keep breaking to the downside. 15 minutes is appearing, and once they break aggressively, get in, stop behind that, and keep looking for these corrections to breaking down. Okay, once you get a breakout, go with 1-to-1 risk reward ratio first. If you don't know how to trade the way I'm showing, all right, so we don't use that technique, to be honest, the way I'm showing. All right, we have a different technique. All right, this is not the technique which we use. All right, I mean, this is the more, risky technique. All right, so selling breakout, and if it is going, and then so we actually look at the whole market at the same time. Okay, and when we see that there is, either we are having a risk on move or risk off move, we just simply follow based on that, and wherever the price is on gold, we just simply get into the trade. All right, so getting just based on this breakout, prices below, sell, stop, is not going to work. All right, that's not going to work. So you need to look at the rest of the assets as well. So how dollar is doing? Is it gaining or losing? Okay, you get the indication from there. Yeah, but this rough. I'm showing rough, technique. This is a rough technique. Yeah, so this is the way you should trade. All right, this is the best way to let me tell you. Okay, this is what you should do. That's the nice way to trade, and you can get a good entry, good stop placement, good risk reward ratio, everything good. I personally missed that trade because I was away from my desk and I was looking for that trade to happen. Whole day we were waiting for that. We got a sell from there. We got a sells. All right, so sells happen. These sells, nice sells were happen. Got those sells, these sell opportunities, nice sell opportunities, and then we were looking for gold buy here when gold broke when gold made all-time high. So I personally missed that move because I was away from my desk. So this is the way to trade. Okay, so you're watching. Okay, we were watching not just on gold, we were watching gold dollar chart at the same time. And what happened over there, all right, when dollar was gaining, all right, suddenly we have seen strength on the silver just spiked up very, very aggressively, and while the other charts were still struggling against the dollar. Okay, and this was the indication that the gold is also going to gain against the dollar, right? And we started to paying attention over there. Right? I asked my members to pay attention over there, and we may get a buy opportunity over there on the gold. All right, so what happened after that? All right, so this was the place where we were paying attention on gold. Silver went higher. All right, and silver started to fall. A bit of worry. All right, so silver went higher, then again dropped aggressively lower. Okay, so we started a bit cautious over there. Okay, but what happened after this sell-off? Again, silver went higher, and then news broke out over there. I think it related to manufacturing or something like that, which pushed the silver more higher, and there was the low on the gold. Okay, there should be the entry. Okay, there should be the entry. Where were the silver? Silver were on this chart. Silver were well ahead. There we can see that the silver was testing 61% of this previous. Removed all those losses and sitting at 61%. But gold wasn't testing that 60. We were targeting 70% of that. Buy. So targeting buy up to 70%. So entry buy from there. So that was the time to get into the market. All right, when silver removed all those losses, went higher. Okay, gold was stuck at this area, so buying, stop, and you're looking that trade. All right, so and then what happened? Silver just made its move and I missed that trade. I was away. So it was a nice bullish run. So we got sell there at this area. These sells, nice sells, right? But I missed that trade. So that's the way to trade on the gold. Okay, hope that it helps. Okay, you cannot just simply based on prices just below the trend line and you jumped in. This is not going to work, guys. You need to look at the other pairs, how dollar is doing here, how dollar is doing against the euro or blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Then you'll be able to catch the trade into the right direction. Okay, so that's what you're watching. You're watching the other dollar pairs, and if they Uzi keep breaking, euro keep breaking, okay, this correction will keep breaking to the downside. All right, so the goal is done, the bullish run. Okay, this bullish run from 1940 to 2140, 2150. Yeah, so 2150 is done, and this is clearly telling you that this action, someone has done something to reverse gold from this top. Okay, big players, smart money is there. They don't want the gold to go higher from these areas. So because they know the fundamentals, they know everything, they're smart, they know, and they want a gold to stay sideways. So at the start I have shown you the inflation charts. All right, they are also supporting gold to stay sideways for longer term. All right, so similar with the silver, same possibility with the silver. Silver is, yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay, you got some indication from silver, right? You got some indication from silver. There is the indication. Gold also broke, but gold hasn't gone lower than the previous low. This is what you need to look for. Gold is weaker, but silver is weaker, but gold is not weaker. Gold hasn't broken through that low. So gold gonna be, yeah, so you're selling the gold. If you see this keeps falling, all right, but gold is staying sideways. It's not moving. Okay, so tap it from there. This short-term trade and possible breakdown and more downside, lower, another leg lower. Okay, so silver to go down to, okay, nothing new on the silver. Silver is also doing similar stuff, this stuff which we are having here on our right side. Yeah, so what we have seen on our right side, euro ascending wedge, broken out. Okay, so silver also broken out. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, broken down. Okay, broken down. You're looking these to continue to keep dragging lower, this low. Okay, yeah, so you are looking this to continue to keep dragging lower. Yeah, so we already got the euro chief to the downside. Yeah, and you're looking this to keep dragging lower. Yeah, so if I'm gonna look at the bigger time frame, we are back into the big sideways market, right? And it can go all the way back to this low. Make sense? Yeah. So how to trade? Okay, so how to trade, as I've shown. So we don't have, it already broken down. All right, it already broken down. We don't have, so you watch how to trade. So you're watching these pairs. All right, so you're watching these pairs. If any one of them is falling very, very aggressively against the dollar, you just keep chasing these. You just keep selling the gold, keep selling the silver as well to the downside. Don't buy them. They are not buy opportunities. They are not at the buy area, buy place. So yes, just keep falling, guys. May go into a slightly bigger correction. All right, bigger correction can happen over the like euro chief. If that happens, still continue to keep falling. Oil to just keep dragging lower. Okay, in the previous weekly market outlook, I said to you guys, we won't get we won't get a I mean, for possibility, I have shown you that this slow sell-off can happen over there, and it is doing that way. We did not get the bullish move on it. All right, so what it is doing, just keep dragging lower slowly. So where are you paying attention? Okay, once oil tag this area 65, we may get a buy opportunity on oil. That's far away, so it can keep falling. Yeah, so don't sell the breakout opportunities. Are not there anymore on oil. So oil can keep dragging lower, so we're gonna use that V chart and gonna look at that. Okay, so sideways market is expected on oil at that low. We can expect oil to stay a big sideways here within these areas, like copper, like wheat is doing. Yes, Christopher, we are expecting Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar was a buy. Okay, it bounced off very aggressively. You cannot chase that trade now, but Euro New Zealand dollar is still a buy opportunity. So oil can fall to this low and can go into a sideways market. So just keep doing that way, oil. All right, fall, pull back, and keep slowly come into a cap area, cap price. This is a cap. 65 is a cap price on Russian oil, and they don't want to let this to go to drop lower than that. All right, so if oil fall below 65 aggressively, we're gonna see quick drop in the inflation panic. So that's why they impose that 65 cap. But active economy is slowing down so quickly, so sharply. Yeah, and in longer run, we're gonna see oil gonna go lower than 65. How OPEC countries are cutting, all right, but that's not helping the price to stay elevated for upside. So it's the economy which is slowing down sharply, causing the oil demand to fall. So you can expect oil to trend higher unless there is a full blown war, all right, all out war in the Middle East, or OPEC or Middle East countries are imposing oil ban. Then you can expect oil to do something different. But right now, just keep dragging lower. I don't have a sell opportunity. In case if you see that a pullback is coming over there and testing those areas, that 80 area, 80 mark, keep tapping it to the downside. All right, that way. All right, so Apple made its move, and Apple to go also down, very much similar. Like, you see that this is not a normal thing. We are having that formation everywhere, right? This wedge high and big sideways for our flag, all right? And if we see Nasdaq 100 index is falling, you're gonna see these big names also gonna fall back to that low. Okay, so what is the trick here? The trick is that keep eyes on these big names. If any one of them drop aggressively to the downside, will give you a clue that the others are also going to fall. All right, so forming ascending wedge, start falling down. All right, so you're looking if any one of these big names like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, Google, Amazon, big names, all right, if one of them fall very aggressively, okay, the indices are going to drop. The rest of the equities are going to drop too. Yeah, so Nvidia is also going down. We can see clearly can be used as an indication. We were anticipating this to go down from there. It went slightly higher. Okay, if I'm gonna remove those and gonna pull out some more trend lines, all right, so similar wedge, yeah, like Euro Chief, top, another top, flag, start falling. All right, so starting point, if I'm gonna pull out fib lines from there to there, dropped almost 61%, 50%. All right. So the lower the Nvidia goes, Nasdaq index, S&P 500, they are also following that big name. See that? So same formation here. All right. So just keep going down. So I have shown you the indices. Yeah. So drop on indices will also gonna drag these big names lower. Google, bang on already. Ahead, way ahead. Close to the Euro Chief. Let's put Euro Chief on it and see how this is. There you go. Euro Chief is very well ahead. All right. Yeah, Google is also following that Euro Chief chart, about to test that low. All right, Euro Chief already done that, and this channel is ascending channel is forming and going down. So Google is ahead, we can say that. Obviously when Google gonna go down, yeah, so the indices is also gonna start falling. So Amazon is still starts, you know, at that high. All right, so we're still, Amazon is still at that high, but they're setting up for that move, guys. The risk of move, the risk of wave, these big names. Meta is slightly ahead. Slightly ahead, all right, not much, but yes, these to just keep dragging lower. So these big names, any one of them is quickly goes down. All right, so you are expecting indices to follow up. All right, Netflix was stronger for upside. Oracle also doing that, ascending wedge. This is also forming. Qualcomm is also forming that ascending wedge. Okay, so Bitcoin, I have, you know, explained at the start what we're anticipating on the Bitcoin. Ethereum goes down, BNB done. All right, so we may not see another leg higher on the BNB we're anticipating, but if Bitcoin goes down, we are now going to see another leg higher. Done. All right, so Terra Classic done its bullish run. Luna done. Arun done. All right, so all these charts done. We are not anticipating bigger, you know, more upside on them, so they already made their move. This chart was quick. All right, so quick to make them move. So broke through their high. So following the Bitcoin, yeah, went higher so aggressively. So Solana done. All right, so if you are holding these coins, then make sure you understand that we may see, you know, another weekly leg lower. Okay, if we are going to be wrong, all right, and crypto is going to continue to keep pushing more higher, inflation dynamics needs to be changed. Inflation dynamics needs to be changed. Then we're gonna have next run on in the crypto. Inflation needs to spike up. Next run should come up in the inflation. Then we can expect these coins to go higher. All right, so Gala slightly went higher. OKBT done, very much done. All right, so this is not the time to get into the crypto altcoins. All right, I mean, some of them are still behind, lagging. Bitcoin made its move. All right, and when we were talking about the buy within these areas, these lows, all right, so they made their move. Okay, very much done. So this is not the time to load up for the altcoins. So you may end up buying them at higher price. Make sure you understand that. You may end up buying them at higher price. They are correlated with the Bitcoin. We are anticipating Bitcoin to go down from the current price. And if it start falling, then there's going to be a problem for you to buy these old coins at higher price. Okay, we may stay sideways market for a couple of more months on these old coins. All right, so we have seen some decent move on Oita. Oita went higher and tested that high at 38.8. Yeah, we have seen a decent jump on that, but it's done its bullish move. ADA was lagging, and ADA is also done. We may see spike on ADA. ADA can play a catch-up move like that and can push up, but I wouldn't suggest you to chase that, okay? Because as we have changed our bias on the Bitcoin, and if we are right, Bitcoin is going to drop from the ascending wedge, then all these coins also gonna, you see that that wedge is also appearing over here. This wedge is almost everywhere, that top and correction, and then they fall, okay? And if we are right, then they are going to visit these lows, so it's not a good place to buy these coins. KuCoin was a good, okay? We were talking about the buy on KuCoin. I have posted buy here when it was at $8, and it to break out or go down, and it even went lower than that 5 mark and then started to pick up, but it's done very much, okay? And we again may fall back to that sideways market. So they done the bullish run, right? All these coins. Okay, so that's it. Enough for today. Hopefully you have learned something new. So opportunities are there on dollar pairs at the start. Okay, tap this pair, tap on this pair head, and keep tapping it till it fall all the way up to somewhere these areas, and this is going to be the lead. As long as you see that this is falling, all right, you are confident on the New Zealand dollar sell opportunity, sell setup. And once you see that the euro is changing, okay, euro is just breaking up very, very aggressively, something is different going to happen, then change your view, or I'll try my best to change, update. So XRP, we were expecting XRP to rise. Okay, so done very much. Wouldn't suggest you to anything to do it on this. If you are buying, okay, I was expecting it to go higher from these areas. Okay, it's made its move. It's already made its move. Do not do anything on it. We are going back within these areas. Sideways, big sideways market. Okay, inflation is very important to understand, guys. You need free money to come into the market. Right now, interest rate in the US, an average interest rate in the developed countries, it's sitting above 5% or close to 5%. All right, so it's very expensive to have, loan to start a business. All right, so less crypto projects coming into the market because money cost is very much high. So higher interest rate is disinflationary. So you need free money to come into the market, which can drive the crypto for upside. So cost is very much high for the money at the moment, 5.5%. So you need interest rates to come down for inflation to push higher, and these crypto coins, all coins, to jump. So they are not supporting the jump at the moment. USIRR. Okay, so you already got that run there, and a XRP, and these pops up over there. You need inflation to take out for upside, which is not going to happen anytime soon for the next run. So we are going down, and these coins are depressing. Not just these coins, most of the other assets are going to be big sideways for longer run. Okay, so I wouldn't suggest you to anything. I'm not sure what you have done, bought or sold or what. But if you bought, you are in decent profit. Just close that, lock out that profit, get out, all right? And let them go again to these lows, and then you are looking for buy. There is no continuation is going to happen, okay? I'm not anticipating like that kind of move to happen, all right? We are already, to taken out all those Luna Classic or Terra Classic trades. We were, out from those trades. So, and we have already changed our bias on the Bitcoin as well. So enough for this week. Thank you very much for coming into the weekly market outlook. Hopefully you have understand something, yeah, and have a great week, guys. Thank you. We'll see you back again in another weekly market outlook. Until then, bye.